What's up, guys? Matt at Performance Fab checking in again. As you can see in the background, got Devin Vanderhoof's Reddi Whip S550 car. Back in to kind of repair a few things. I'm sure most of you have seen his videos and saw all the stuff from Sickweek that happened, the failures and fire and everything else. So we're basically trying to repair some of that, and then we're still trying to make a few things a little better, just to make the car work better. So I kind of show you what happened, or try to explain what happened. Most, like I said, most of you already know, but show you what all happened and kind of what we're doing to repair it and modifications we're going to do. So let me flip this thing around and I'll kind of show you. Alright, so the main thing that happened, I thought it was, I'd left already Sickweek, so I didn't have the full rundown on the spot, and I don't bug them when they're there. I basically message Josh, ask if he's okay, but that's about it. To the extent I try not to bug people when they're at the track and give them, because I know they're getting bombarded by lots of other people. So what happened, from the best we can tell, was the one of the caps out of the drive shaft came out. The clip came out and the cap came out, and it got super out of balance. So it was out of this end here, and it was basically, it was terrible out of balance, and it was like it was almost trying to jump rope. The drive shaft actually didn't break. It ended up, but it came out and got so out of balance it was doing like an ellipse and a wobble real bad. And I mean, they ran 220 on that pass even with what happened. But Josh said it was shaking so bad, like it blurred his vision. I mean, he went 220, so I mean, he had to get slowed down from that. And he said once it happened, he he couldn't see, it was blurred so bad, and it was shaking so bad it literally pulled threads out of the block where the transmission was trying to come unconnected from the block, broke dowel pins, it oblonged the mid plate. We already made a new mid plate. He's got the transmission bolted in with it, kind of copied the old one. Yeah, it was pretty violent and shook so bad the dipstick come out, slung transmission fluid everywhere. I don't know what happened. I mean, eventually the yoke did hit the drive shaft safety loop that was in there. We got to redo that as well, and destroyed that, and just kind of made a mess of everything. It ended up being a fire in this transmission area, which there is a top we had on it, and I'll show you that in a second. We've already remade it, but that was actually titanium, that piece there, which was kind of better than being carbon or aluminum or anything like that, just to hold up. But so ended up having a fire in this area, and there's not a fire nozzle, or wasn't a fire nozzle. There will be here soon, because we're changing the fire system up a little bit, just to, I mean, it's kind of how it goes. To live and learn, hopefully. And everybody was good to go, so make changes for the better and come back. So we are going to put a nozzle in the transmission tunnel, that way when the fire system is released, if something ever happens again, it'll go off. But here's a piece of, there's another piece somewhere, I don't know where it's at, but this was something you can see. She torched her pretty good. I mean, it's pretty bad under there. She got pretty hot. I mean, it burnt the seats, burnt any wiring or any lines that were in there. Obviously, so all that's got to be redone. Like I said, the seats got burnt, so that is one of the things we're doing. So we've remade that panel out of tie again, just made it the same way. So he ended up getting, so he already had race decks in the seat, but it was, I don't know the series number, so you guys will have to forgive me, but it was more of the base composite one, not the carbon fibre one. So, and he's always loved the race tech stuff, and I like them. They're nice seats. They're just freaking huge and a pain in the butt because they're so big, which is what we're having now, because this is actually a different brand, or a different series seat. It's the carbon fiber one. I think they're 7 pounds lighter each. But the problem we're running into is the shoulder bolsters are wider, so it's hard to get it to sit down in here. So we're kind of trying to mock it up, play around with it, not have to, because if we have to redo stuff, we're going to end up having to redo the sheet metal. So let me go to the other side and I'll show you. You can see kind of, it's already a pain with these seats because they're so big, but like you can see how these bungs here, bolts actually go through there to those seats, and here's the other ones. So you just got those four, and it's the same way over there. It's kind of hard to see, but you get the idea. So if we end up having to redo those, we have to redo all that sheet metal work. So we're trying to avoid that, but we really can't get them in there very well. So it's kind of what we're fighting at the moment. So trying to get that, and we don't, we don't mind if the seat comes up some, but we don't want it to be too high because Josh is a tall person, got a long torso, and like right now he just came over a little while ago because we have this one kind of somewhat mocked up and made it work, and he's too close to the bar. So basically we were back to square one. We done spent an hour or two trying to make a modified bolt-on bracket for the inside, and now we're going back to trying to get this thing down in this hole a little bit more. But like you see, I mean, it's already touching there, it's touching there. So I mean, we might end up having to, I'm doing this, not going to hear this, but we might end up having to trim inside of that to get it down in the hole more, because Josh is just, he's got space, but with a helmet on, his helmet is probably going to be touching the bar inside there, funny car bar. So, and these cars are real deep, and this seat was real low, so it was hard to see out of, but we'd rather have the weight low as possible, and Josh was fine driving it that way. I mean, it is tricky, but he said he could deal with it. But anyway, so basically it's just a safety thing. We got to make sure his head's not bouncing off the bars. This car's just incredibly too fast to have to worry about something else. Obviously, there's already so much other stuff going on that makes it tricky. So that's kind of where we're at now. We've already made the new inside panel, working on the seats. Another thing we've done on the inside was, so when we made our little server rack before, the idea was, obviously we couldn't get it but so high, and then we had the battery underneath here. We were trying to make room so you still had room to get your feet under there. Well, it ended up like the battery was somewhere about yay high. Well, your feet would go under there, but it wasn't exactly comfortable. So for the long rides, and I think Devin was done with it being there after he caught, I don't know what track they pulled out of, somewhere in Florida, and I can't remember what he said he was eating, rice cakes or bugles or something crap, and caught a cramp in the leg and then couldn't stretch out because the battery was in the way. He spilled the rice cakes everywhere, and he was losing it. Josh was like, what the hell is going on over there? So anyway, that's kind of leads to so we fixed that. We got rid of the battery. Everything was still mounting here, but now the battery's gone, so all that space is open underneath there. Kind of mounts in all electronics will still be in that same spot minus the battery and the contactors. So that brings us to the other thing we're trying to do performance-wise is this car, the engine's real far back, the turbos are back. It's just, it doesn't have a lot of weight on the nose, which we prefer to have. And the car's working decent, but it's still slow to the 60 foot for what we're used to. I think it's been a 108. On that 613 pass was a 108. And I know that's really fast for a lot of people, but we were on 102s to 105s pretty regularly in the convertible car, so this thing's got to be able to do that. It's already it's a faster chassis, just aero-wise, and it's just completely faster in that regard. So if we can get our front numbers like we were getting out of the convertible car, this thing, it is going to be a rocket ship. So there's still a lot to play with there. So we're trying to get more weight that is in the car move forward. And so the battery is one thing, which is not a ton of weight, but we're going to get it mounted up front. The CO2 tank was in the very back of the car just because there was no room. This car's got a good bit of space, but there's no room for anything to be spared. It's just the driver and the passenger take up so much space. The CO2 bottle ended up going in the trunk, and then the fire bottle, the only place we couldn't get it behind the seat, because the seat literally sat all the way against it. You can see the other side. So we actually had the fire bottle on here, and then obviously the fresh air is right there, which I hate because that's just high weight. So when a car's trying to roll over, you need to get weight forward and down. So that's what we're trying to get after. So we got the three things we're working with on shifting and moving right now is the battery, CO2 bottle, and the fire system bottle. We're all moving that stuff forward. So it don't seem like a ton of weight, but I think between those three items, it's roughly 35 pounds. And if you're not only just moving 35 pounds from here, it's kind of, you're displacing it, you know what I mean? So you remove 35 from this way and move it to the front, it just really helps change that percentage a lot more than that weight being in the middle of the car. So anyway, we already have a little bit of weight hung on the front, so we're trying to minimize hanging more weight. We're trying to just move weight that is in the car to more optimal places. And I might not do a ton, but we're trying to get every little bit we can here and there without piling on 40 extra pounds on the nose, because I think it's got 25 on it now. So we can add the 35-ish to the very front, plus that, it's going to be a good bit of weight displaced. And obviously the seats are going to be taking out another 14 or so, so that's middleweight. So hopefully we can get this thing shifted another percent would be great. I don't know if we'll see that, but that's the goal. So anyway, that's kind of a long explanation of what's going on. Kind of in the middle of doing it at the moment. So as soon as we get this stuff done inside the car, we're gonna throw it in the lift, because we kind of need the front end on to make sure we can get everything to clear the way it needs to clear. That's going to be mounted up front. So as soon as we get all this wrapped up, we're going to do that. It's just quick in and out. We're trying to get this thing done because he's got to do a fair amount of rewiring stuff that got tore up, and obviously moving the battery and the contactors. So, and they got a race in about a month. So got a good bit of work to get done. Doesn't have an engine in it, as you can tell right at the moment. It went to par to get checked out. Like I said, the block got threads tore out. So they took it apart just to check everything. Sent transmission off. This is a very costly accident that happened. So anyway, as we get this rolling a little bit more, I'll kind of throw a little bit more, show you kind of as we get it all in here and the things we end up doing and how we finish them up. So all right, till the next one. All right, we're having a good time. Just updating this. Like I said, we had to remake the mid plate the other day because that one got destroyed when she went shaking real bad. Seats are pretty well completely fit. Told you they were super tight, touching both sides. These shoulder bolts are a little wider than the ones that were on there before. Moved them up about 1.5 inches higher than they were. This, like I said, they were too low, so it was a little harder to see, but we still didn't want to get them too high just because I don't want Josh's helmet to be close to any bars. So it's actually worked out. We had them a little higher, and then we had to rework them just a little, but just got to wrap up welding those outside ones. We made adapter plates for the inside just because if we redid all those mounts over there, we're going to have to redo the sheet metal, so we just made plates that would offset it up. But we did remount these, but so we're wrapping that up, but then also working on the front. So like I said, we're putting the fire bottle kind of here. It's going to be something like so. So the issue with this thing is it's powder coated. This is why I don't like powder coating chassis, because I've never had one that don't work on after the fact. And we don't want to grind all this off. Luckily we got the weight tab we put on it. So we're going to make a plate that bolts on here that actually will kind of help offset it. And we can get the fire bottle mounted onto that plate without having to grind the chassis and it be all jacked up. And if we had to, but we try to avoid it if we can and make everything bolt on as much as possible. And then you kind of have the CO2 mocked up here. I don't know how it's going to go, but we're going to get the battery over here first. And then once we get that, we'll see how the CO2 goes. So a little bit longer. You can tell she's a little full up here, and she's going to be real full after we get done shoving that. But like I said, we're trying to get as much weight to the front of the car without adding just extra weight. I mean, we already had some lead mounted on the front. I think there was 25 pounds. So if we can reduce that, that's great. But if we can just keep it on there and get after it harder, that's great too. Right, so we got everything wrapped up, I believe. So I think I showed you most of the back, but Devin's here to pick her up. So we ended up moving the fire bottle to the front. So we're trying to shift as much weight that's in the car to the front. So this time we did the fire bottle, the battery, and the CO2, and those are about, I think I added about 30-ish pounds, so that should be a good bit of weight to move. That's in other places. I mean, the CO2 was all the way in the back, fire bottle was on the funny car cage and kind of high, so that should do a good bit. The battery was kind of low and forward, so it's not a big deal, but it is hanging.
It still moved
a
solid 60 inches.
Yeah,
60
no,
inches,
for sure. And
you
this,
know what I
and I
mean?
weighed it. It was, well, with the mount on it, it was like 16 pounds, so it's a little lighter than that without the other mount. But
yeah.
So that should help. And that's like even over this from the original setup. We got an extra cooler up front, about an extra 2 gallons of fuel. Yeah. So we've probably moved, honestly.
Probably 50-ish pounds.
Yeah.
Probably 50 pounds, I would think.
Pretty easy.
The hope is that we can take these pucks off.
Yeah, for sure.
And get some lead off of the nose. And try to avoid the wheelie problem. It's been a really good time lately.
Yeah.
We ain't got no engine though.
Yeah, she's I mean, obviously it did pretty good at Sickweek the first until it didn't. Works 60% of the time every time.
Yeah, we should rename this sex pan. Because it works 60% of the time all the time.
Yeah. But yeah, we ended up getting the new race decks he got in. Like I said, I think I might have mentioned that earlier in another clip, but Devin's a dealer for those. I don't know what series. Do you remember?
Yeah, so these are the 8119 series seats. These are the brand new seats from Racetech. They this is a full carbon seat.
Yeah, you actually can see we got it taped up still, but you can see the carbon
this
on the
is
outside.
It's a full carbon seat. The bolsters are a little bit heavier duty than what I had. The head restraint's a little bit heavier duty than what I had. The these are 7 pounds lighter than the old seats.
7 each. Yeah, so 14 there. Yeah.
14 pounds there, which you know you don't think is much, but when you start trying to find every ounce you can. I'm gonna make a video about reassembling the car. I'm actually gonna make a pretty good series. I'm gonna make 2 or 3 videos about Racetech seats.
Right.
Because I have the old ones. I want to show the old ones,
right.
the new ones, all the differences between them. But these are already set up for 7 points, so
yeah, they got a slot in the back. Yeah.
Slot. So,
yep. But yeah, so we did do double dry shaft safety loops just to hopefully that'll help out a little more if anything happens again.
The comments on YouTube from my video or from the Sickweek videos were, I can't believe they have an exposed transmission. And as you can see, Matt made a new panel for here.
Yeah, that one's
because
done.
that one caught fire.
Yeah.
Right. It didn't burn through, but it like
yeah,
it
she's
toasty, But it's not an exposed transmission.
Right. She's all covered up. Street car, man.
Yeah. So it's not an exposed transmission.
But yeah, the battery was down there, so
right here.
now we got some actual feet room now.
Oh man, let me tell you, this was really a fantastic thought process. And I measured my foot, and I was like, if I turn it sideways, it won't be that bad. We got about 8.5 inches. Nah, that was terrible. That was absolutely atrocious. That foot space was. That we just need an extra 1.5 inches or so. So now we got plenty of room now to stretch out. You know what I mean? That'll be really nice. That's actually the thing that I'm looking forward to the most.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, there's and the seats are up about 1 inch.
Yeah, we went about 1.5 inches, I think. So,
which is nice because I don't know if you ever seen Django, but man, you can't see shit out of this thing.
It's just these cars are deeper than you realize they are.
Yeah.
And so and you don't see it with the front end off, but you can kind of see that bar that the hood actually rests on.
Yeah, it sits like
so it kind of it's kind of tough to see out of this thing.
You can't see anything out of it. Hell, when we were at Gainesville, and Josh is pulling up to the starting line or staging lanes, and he goes, "Hey, look at that left front." And I said, "What?" And he's like, "The bumper." I said, "What?" And he goes, "I hit something." I said, "What'd you hit?" He's like, "I think a trash can back there." I said, "Oh," and it just left a black mark. He's like, "Oh, I couldn't see shit." I was like, "Dude, I ain't mad about shit at all." I said, "I can't see nothing out of it either."
Well, and that's just barometer. That was actually that first pass at Gainesville, day one, went a 613, and he lifted. So the car separates in the back and lifts the back up, so he could actually see really well. And then going down track, he said